one challenge that we hear from customers all the time is that operational data and maintenance data often live in separate worlds. So operations teams have real-time visibility into equipment performance, while maintenance teams manage work orders, inspections, operator manuals, and asset history, for example. So for this demo, we wanted to connect those worlds using real asset and real maintenance workflow. And what makes this interesting is that we are not using simulated data here. The information you are seeing is coming from a live PowerMonitor 5000, which is a Rockwell device, again, located in Bogota, in Colombia, in our support center. So we are looking at FactoryTalk Optix on the left side, and the data is streaming directly from the PowerMonitor 5000, giving us real-time visibility into the operating condition of the asset. So one thing I really like about the setup is how easy it is to get started using the Fiix libraries within Optix. Okay, so for example, these faceplates that I am opening right now come directly from the Fiix libraries available that you can download for free. So using pre-built components, we can quickly connect assets, bring equipment online or offline, as you can see here, with a reason, without a reason, depending on what you want to do. Now it's offline, okay? And capture meter readings, visualize information through standardized faceplates and dashboards as well. So it is almost a plug and play experience that helps reduce integration effort and accelerate time to value. So at this point, we have visibility, but visibility alone doesn't improve reliability. So the next question becomes, what should maintenance do with this information? And this is where condition-based maintenance starts becoming much more practical. So instead of relying solely on time-based maintenance schedules, we can begin using this actual information and operating conditions and meter readings coming directly from the equipment to better understand when intervention may truly be needed, okay, in the system. So the more connected our assets become, the easier it is to make maintenance decisions based on real asset behavior rather than just assumptions. So that's where the integration between these FactoryTalk Optix and Fiix CMMS here on the right becomes super valuable. So instead of keeping operational data separate from maintenance activities, we can make it part of our maintenance process. So now maintenance teams can see not only work orders, inspections, maintenance history, but also what's happening on the asset right now. For many organizations, actually, OT integrations are often the missing piece. So work orders tell us what happened, operational data helps us explain why it happened and whether similar conditions may be developing again. So when maintenance history and operational context, again, come together in a single system, here in Fiix, we start building the foundation for more advanced maintenance strategies like predictive and prescriptive moving forward. So now we are inside Fiix. This is where maintenance teams manage assets, work orders, inspections, again, spare parts and maintenance schedules, for example. And the key here is context. So the more complete the asset record is, as you can see here, the same PowerMonitor 5000 that I have in FactoryTalk Optix, the more valuable it becomes. So instead of asking what failed, we can start asking what is the asset telling us before it fails. And that's where maintenance starts becoming more proactive and less reactive. So once we are collecting this information consistently, we can start looking at it from a broader perspective using Fiix analytics. So here you see, for example, we can switch the asset online again, refresh, come back here, come back to the asset, and we will have it online as well in Fiix. Same thing with meter readings. We saw in another faceplate here, HMI visualization screen, we see different meter readings coming through, we can see them automatically in Fiix. Okay, just with the timestamps. Let me close this and this. So once we are collecting this information consistently, we can start looking at it from a broader perspective using what we call Fiix analytics. So if I go to the exact dashboard here, that will show us the PowerMonitor, again, 5,000 information, you will see. So before we ask Max, for example, for recommendations, let's spend a moment looking at the analytics available for this asset. What we are seeing here are more than 100,000 meter readings collected from the PowerMonitor 5000 over time, with thanks to this OT integration, and including measurements such as current and voltage in this case. At first glance, the trends look relatively stable, which is actually good news. Stable operating conditions usually indicate that the asset is behaving as expected. But the real value isn't looking at a single reading or at a single chart. The value comes from building a history of operational behavior over weeks, months, and eventually years. So this is where OT integrations become so important. So every meter reading collected from the subfloor becomes part of the asset's digital history inside Fiix. So over time, we begin to understand what normal looks like for this asset, and more importantly, when the asset starts deviating from that normal behavior. So that's the foundation of condition-based maintenance. Instead of performing maintenance only because the calendar tells us to do it on a weekly, on a daily, on a monthly basis, we can start making maintenance decisions based on actual equipment condition. And once we combine these operational trends with maintenance history, completed work orders, inspection findings, parts usage, operator manuals, hydraulic, E-plans, manufacturer recommendations, we create all this foundation for real predictive maintenance. So at that point, we are no longer looking only at what happened in the past. In the past, we are starting to identify patterns that may indicate future risks. And that's exactly where Max, the AI assistant that is 100% embedded in Fiix, can help. So most maintenance organizations already have the data, but the challenge is turning, let's say, that data into action. So historically, maintenance teams have used data to understand yesterday's problems. What we are starting to see now is how AI can help us anticipate tomorrow's problems and recommend today's actions. So the reason we are connecting operational data from the shop floor, maintenance history, inspections, manuals, and so forth, is to create a context that AI needs to generate valuable recommendations. So in many ways, OT integrations and good maintenance data are the foundation for this AI. So without that data, AI can only provide generic answers. Okay, so that is super important. That is key. With access to real data, Max can help identify patterns, as you can see in this prompt that I have used here. Helping maintenance teams move toward a more prescriptive maintenance strategy. So not just predicting what might happen, but helping decide what should happen next. So let's put that to the test. I'm going to ask Max, or I have already asked Max, to act as a maintenance manager, as you can see here, responsible for maximizing reliability and minimizing downtime of this PowerMonitor 5000, PM5000. Max will review all available information from meter readings, from FactoryTalk Optix here, going now, and operating conditions to history of work orders, maintenance history, manuals as well, complete manuals attached to the asset, and manufacturer recommendation. It will assess the health of the asset, identify potential risks over the next 30 and 90 days. You can see here, risk 1, risk 2, risk 3. So naming the risks and giving you evidence of this. So the answer, it will also answer actually to the question that I have placed here in the prompt. If you were responsible for this asset, what are the top 5 actions you would take this week and why? We will see it here. Top 5 actions this week, okay? And why of these actions. And all based on evidence, on this data foundation that we have built thanks to the OT integration. So for me, this isn't really a story about Optix, Fiix, Analytics, or Max as separate products. It's about creating a continuous flow of information from the shop floor, which is our support center here, into maintenance workflows through analytics and ultimately into better decisions. So we start with live operational data again, and we combine it with maintenance history, documentation, and institutional knowledge to then use the AI to transform all of this information into practical actions, as you can see here. It's not about replacing maintenance teams, of course. It's about helping them spend less time searching for information and more time preventing problems before they occur. So condition-based maintenance starts with connected assets, as you can see here, that create the foundation for predictive maintenance. And the question is no longer, do we have enough data? The question is, are we making the best possible maintenance decisions with the data we already have?